We're back again in Project Trackday, still level 65. Let's get right here to Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, as we're going to be doing for our last time in Group 5 special lap times, which is absolutely finally to take all the way for there's going to be only one thing. 2 Porsches when today the Moby Dick has been for just a little bit to spin out for just one, and because of due to something for a huge amount of bad luck, and the K4 wins. But there's only one thing, it's absolutely pretty slower than 2 seconds in front of us. So if this is not absolutely going to be start to failure, so it should be going to be the held at day, as we're going to be spoken out to the camera mode. As you can see, the moon top over here, that is not going to be very good at all. So looks like if this is absolutely taking for just as necessary, we might going to be taking for a little bit at one, until we're going to be moving on down into Paul Ricard. It's not going to be taking all the way down into its front, and the final level should be at Fuji International Speedway. As before, we're going to be doing this first. And the next thing is the realization in Group 5 that does not match to, for there's only one thing. Unfortunately, some Group 5 cars or even class does not able to match in Sebring International Raceway. Even because it's true, what exactly how it means? Is we're gonna be doing this for literally right now, or is it gonna be rarely possible to do Group 5 lap times as well? So maybe I'm not sure that we're gonna be doing for Japanese Grand Prix, except for the Group 5 LM cars that cannot handle throughout for the some kind of Fuji International Speedway. So looks like today's morning we'll be trying to do what is guessed, and let's see we'll be using for the Group 5 special cars. We have for the Porsche 935 K4, and that must be the Nissan R31 as well. That must be the Skyline BH Edition Argentina, a Russian BMW M3, and looks like that must be the Moby Dick version. So looks like we're going to be changed into Ferrari. Now this is absolutely going to be taking so much. We're going to be taking on a red color. And because this is what absolutely how is gonna be doing for just like this. Now I'm gonna be pretty sure let's spawn this thing, and we're gonna be doing for this out as even for much, and tomorrow this morning we'll be take on this vehicle to the track into the test. Once it's absolutely really early morning that I'm never gonna be able to heard of this out without the engine sound of his car as well. So it looks like we're gonna be using about manual transmission, and it's time to give him. And the K4 is officially ready for lap times as possible. Whoa, this is not very good as well. So let's gonna be doing for going up here. That wasn't really good start and departure. As we're having for our last scene of this video, now you're never able to think about for this vehicle's engine sound wasn't pretty working at all. Wait a second, I forgot the sun rays on. And because this is not absolutely gonna be taken for a teleport back to map menu, so let's gonna be using around high. I think we're just gonna be using about to drive all the way something like this. If this is not absolutely what I try to enter to this vehicle, but the last video that I never seen about this vehicle was the engine sound of himself. Looks like we're gonna be giving him a go, and we're using about for the manual transmission. About to seeing the sunlight is gonna be way we go. And because of himself for an engine sounds, that sounds like an electric car as well. And because of this one reason, that should be gonna be understeer for very too much. If we're gonna be using for about for only one purpose, that should be gonna be saying, and the tires can overheat it up. It looks like I just absolutely made for a huge amount of corner cuts as well. It looks like we just absolutely parked into nowhere. And because of this only one strategy, we're going to be using 4200 board. As you can see around the tires, and that is absolutely pretty terrifying as hell. Because of doing like this one, I forgot to turn out to the realistic mode as well. And because of there's only one, it's not going to be being for a fast lap times. The bad news is this Porsche 935 K4 or K3 as well. Wait a second, this is not a K4. This is simply going to be keeping it on understeers as possible, and because of only one thing, is going to be taking for a little bit of huge humps as well. Now looks like we just absolutely made of a 3 seconds penalty for a very huge things as well, because we're going to be staying away, and let's going to be stopping over here, and we'll be waiting all the way around for lap times. As you can see, around for the brake distance and the lap times is gotta be very bad, as this video wasn't a part of the best lap times classic edition. It's not gonna be taken for a little bit very good, because it's absolutely pretty bad as well, and because doing for some kind of a best lap times, we're gonna be taking a little bit slower about to use about this brakes. Now using about for the gear 3, so let's gonna be using about for the less of the brakes. And because of using for a chase camera mode, using by their only one side, if I just gonna be braking hard, can cause understeer, we pretty possible as to do like this. And it can only reach up to 200 miles an hour, over 200 miles an hour as well. So it looks like we're gonna be taking for around for the easy lap as well. Let's take it on to gear number 2, and let's gonna be blast all the way up into gear number 3. So as I may never know that I'm gonna be using the PG Motorsport mode, using about the gear 4, and to start braking and beside a very far of the 200 board. So looks like we're gonna be taking around for the second gear. This should be the beginner's lap times. The GT4 is about for 45 seconds behind, and because of that huge amount of corner cuts, and without for our any redo for just a little bit, we're gonna get all the way down here. If this is not gonna be taking around for it's possible, and it wasn't gonna be very good as much. In Project Cars 2, this is how they're gonna be taking a little bit slow. That should might causes a huge understeer as well. In the Ascari turn, we're just not able to get all the way to handle like these ones as the Formula 1 reference, and that should be under 10 seconds behind as he was. It's going to be taking for a little bit much. Let's take around for this a very slow, not very good as well, to get all to the outside, as we're going to be blasting around for gear 3, and it's not going to be taking for very as possible, as we never see. Not very good at all. Gear 4, we're blasting all the way throughout here, and it's gotta be very slower than a current Formula 1 car as well. And as you can see in about this moment, that's it causing for huge understeers as very as possible. As you can see on the onboard view, I'm pretty terrifying at this vehicle, and because of this only one thing, was not going to be using for a chassis one, for just a little bit for kind of using for a K4 vehicle. That's going to be changing into one vehicle at least, and that was extraordinary terrifying as hell. But not last at least, we're going to be using the Porsche 935 Moby deck as well. So looks like we're going to be using a Ferrari mode in order to make things using for a 978. So it looks like for the 1980s version like this thing, we're going to be taking onto its first gear, and now it's time for ready for a huge amount of oversteers. Let's gonna be staying over right here, and we're ready for a huge lap times as possible. And because of this one, what absolutely wins, it's a right-handed for there's only one vehicle and there's only stuff, and another one is another electric car too. And because of this only one strategy, the Porsche 935s were not stock sounded, is not working about for the engine sizer, and about for the engine stock idle sound wasn't pretty working because due to copyright takedown as well. Because if this is absolutely such an electric car as well, and because this is only one strategy that before this is going to be taking us left, but overall we're going to be taking with us for a Gran Turismo mode. But looks like this is absolutely going to be taking for a huge grip 4 seconds ahead of us, and because of the 935, what absolutely means is almost going to give myself a corner cut. Looks like we're just absolutely taking for a little bit of this one, And because by using for this car as the 935 Moby Dick, this should be able to get faster than the 935 K4. So it looks like using at about 4 gears, manual transmission. Now let's take it on to the Ascari turn. But looks like the handling wasn't pretty quite good as well. And looks like we're going to be taking on for the chase cam. Let's look like for 0.3 seconds. We're taking on to this one strategy, and looks like we're going to be taking around for this one. And might causing for a huge understeers. Great, huge understeers. And because of this one reason, we'll be taking on to this out for just one time. 4-gear manual transmission plus 200 miles per hour against literally 1. So if this is not going to be taking for 1 minute and 48, so it looks like we're going to be taking a little bit slow down and taking for only 1, possibly that we're not going to be taking for this without for this through. It's not going to be taking all the way into Hockenheim as well. So we're not doing for just like a Toronto, streets of Toronto as well. We're not using for the Porsche 935s. All Porsche 935s K4 and Moby Dicks are just absolutely pretty electric cars as well. Oh no, we just absolutely most likely for a bad luck as well. And because of huge size, how many seconds? 0.1 seconds ahead of us. It is absolutely pretty so slow. Whatever that is sounds like is not going to be taking a little bit good choice. But looks like if this sounds very slower than I ever expected, it's not going to be taking for just a little bit much. And unfortunately, if I just going to be braking hard, that could cause understeer or oversteer, not understeer for oversteer. It's causing for huge understeers for a lock-up brakes. And because of due to its size, we got for a 0.8 seconds behind. And it looks like we're going to be catching up to 1 minute and 43 seconds. So it looks like we're going to be using for 150 board. So by the meantime, if this something is going to be taken for a little bit wrong, and huge oversteers may come to a worse lap time. Since we got a corner cut, let's try again. And because of to do like this one, and because of hugely likely understeers as well, as we're going to be make sure we're going to be maximum attack for this one. If this is not going to be taking for a pretty much, we're going to be taking for this only one strategy to take on the 4th gear, 187. Looks like we're going to be taking all the way down into its one sizer without going to be taking for us oversteer, some kind of huge understeer and lock-up brakes. Looks like we're going to be taking on the 1st gear. Looks like we're going to be taking a little bit of understeer, or I mean some kind of a oversteers at this one. So if this is not going to be necessary and about for this only strategy, we're going to be make things a little bit fast. And because of to do like this, is we're going to be taking about pretty so slow than I ever expected. If this is not going to be taking for as much using by the gear 2, and we're going to be taking all the way 0.1 seconds behind, and this is going to be way more faster than this is how it's going to be worked. And it looks like we're going to be taking around for this a little bit slower than let's got to be time to various go time. And because of the K4 935 is absolutely literally going to be almost fast, and because of exactly that what it is, now we're going to be staying down into its 3rd gear into the Ascari turn. That's going to be staying around for efficient low, and looks like we're going to be taking all the way up here into 0.4 seconds behind. Looks like we're going to be doing for a 1 minute and 40 seconds. Let's take for 150 board. We'll be taking around for the inside lane at about under 100 miles an hour. It's going to be taking around for this very slow, and the LMP1 just blast the way through and hitting through our gear level 4. And because this is one strategy is going to be taking for a little bit for 186 miles per hour, 1 minute and 42.946. Now we're going to be doing for our group 5 super lap times very later on for this one. So if you enjoy for this video for just a little bit in some kind of this video, and all want some kind of this for due to this only understeer for as well, because make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you just wanted to drive something Porsche 935Ks or Moby Dicks. As make sure you leave subscribe for this only one thing. And make sure the game is linked in the description down below in Project Trackday. And looks like thanks for watching in about for this one situation. And because due to something that I'm gonna be using for the chase cam, that I might never able to try to attack for this one. Yes, we're gonna be beating 1 minute and 41 seconds in Spa Franco jumps. Thanks for watching. That I'm gonna be signing off. That I'm not using other kinds of Group 5 vehicles as well. So, and this is Turbo Concept signing off. But I'm sorry for this only one thing that I just absolutely tried to do. Over and out.